A very good morning to all of you. So in the last class we were discussing about some chemical properties of boron family. Okay, and in which we have at last we have discussed about the passive nature of aluminium. Okay, that is known as passivity. So aluminium react with nitric acid to convert and gets converted into aluminium oxide, which is very much stable. Okay, and hydrogen gas and nitrogen dioxide gas is released. So we can easily check which gas is released because the color of NO2 is brown in color. Okay, so if brown color gas is released, it means it is NO2 gas. Okay, and if colorless gas is liberated, then it may be N2O or nitric acid. Okay, and no. So there are three cases which we have discussed. Now let's move on to some physical and chemical properties of group 14 elements. Okay, so group 14 elements are, that is carbon family. Okay, so carbon, silicon. Okay, carbon, silicon, germanium, antimony and lead. Germanium and uh, sorry, tin, and then we have lead. Okay, antimony is in group number 15. Okay, so carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. Okay, so out of these carbon is a non-metal. Okay, carbon is a non-metal, and if we talk about silicon and germanium, these two are metalloids. These two are metalloids, and rest of the two are metals. These two are metals. Okay, so carbon is a non-metal, silicon and germanium are metalloids, and tin and lead, these two are metals. Okay, now let us discuss about their electronic configuration. So their electronic configuration, okay, so before move on to electronic configuration, before move on to chemical properties, let us discuss some physical properties. Okay, which are very important. So the first physical property is covalent radii or ionic atomic radii. Okay, so one thing you have to keep in your mind, that these all elements have a tendency to form covalent bond. Okay, they have a very less tendency to form ionic bond because the number of valence electrons are 4 in all these elements. Group 14 element, the number of valence electrons are 4. So in order to complete its octet, it has to accept 4 electron, which is not energetically favorable. Okay, and it has to accept 4 electron or to remove 4 electron. Okay, to get the noble gas configuration. Both are energetically unfavorable. A large amount of energy is required to eject 4 electron from any of these elements. Okay, so ionic bond बनाने की जो tendency है, that is very less. Okay, so that is why I am discussing about covalent radii, not ionic radii. Okay, so now one more thing you have to keep in your mind, in case of group number 13 elements, there are many exceptions. Okay, the order is not regular. In if we talk about atomic radii, the order is not regular. In case of group number 13 बोरॉन फैमिली में ऑर्डर किसी भी चीज का रेगुलर नहीं था, एटॉमिक रेडियाई का भी नहीं था, नोट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिविटी, आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी, मेल्टिंग एंड बॉइलिंग पॉइंट, इवन डेंसिटी. Okay, the order is not regular. But in case of group number 14 elements, experimentally it was found that the order is somehow it is regular. Okay, if we talk about covalent radii, the order is simply regular. That is order is carbon, then we have silicon, then we have germanium, tin and then antimony. Okay, so this is the order. Okay, this is the order of ionic radii, increasing order, increasing order. Okay, this is the increasing order. Now one more thing, what is the reason behind this, that order is regular? Because the effect of shielding is not able to overpower the effect of nuclear charge. Okay, So the effect of shielding and nuclear charge is not able to overpower the effect of the increase in the size. Okay, that is shell number. Okay, so due to shell number there is an increase in the size. Okay, as we all know that nuclear charge भी increase हो रहा है and shielding effect भी increase हो रहा है because there is a entry of d and f orbital takes place. Okay, तो d and f orbital की entry आएगी after lead से जब हम tin से lead पे जाएंगे then there is also an entry of f orbital which have also poor shielding effect, but the effect in the increase of shell number is more. Okay, that is why there is a regular trend of covalent radii. Okay, so keep in your mind the main reason is increase in the shell number, increase in shell number. Okay, shell number, or we can also write it as increase in the principal quantum number. Okay, because principal quantum number tells us about the shell. Okay, so this is the first property. Now second property is ionization energy. Ionization energy. Now if we compare their atomic radii, their covalent radii with group number 13 elements, so as we know, as we move from left to right, okay, in p block elements, as we move from left to right, the atomic radius decreases. Okay, the atomic radius decreases, so their covalent radii is smaller than that of group number 13 elements. Similarly, if their covalent radii is smaller, then their ionization energy will be more as compared to group number 13 elements. So their ionization energy is high as compared to group number 13 elements. And there is also this the trend is also same. Okay, but there is a small exception that uh, if we talk about in between tin and lead, the ionization energy of lead is uh, higher than that of tin. Okay, there is a small difference, so that is due to the shielding effect. Okay, that is due to the, because one more thing you have to keep in your mind that when we move from tin to lead, okay, there is a large increase in nuclear charge also. Okay, क्योंकि there is a difference of 32 in between these two. Okay, there is a difference of 32 because there are 14 elements of f block also there. Okay, due to this there is an increase in the nuclear charge also. Okay, so that is why it is not easy to eject electron from lead as compared to tin. Okay, so you have to keep in your mind this order of ionization energy. So only a single exception is there, that lead has higher ionization energy as compared to tin. Okay, next is electronegativity. Okay, so next is electronegativity. Now if we talk about electronegativity, so the order of electronegativity is same. Okay, as that in case of this. Okay, but the order is regular. Carbon is more electronegative than silicon as compared to germanium. Silicon is more electronegative than germanium. Then we have tin, and then we have lead. Okay, so this is the order for electronegativity. Okay, one more thing, the electronegativity, there is also an exception. Okay, so as we move from carbon to germanium to lead, these two have similar, near about similar electronegativity, that is 1.8. Okay, and then electronegativity little bit increase. Okay, its electronegativity is near about 1.9. Okay, so this thing you have to keep in your mind, there is a small change. Okay, but the electronegativity of carbon and silicon is high as compared to germanium and tin. Okay, so this thing you have to keep in your mind, that germanium and tin have equal, near about equal electronegativity, that is 1.8 or 1.85 maybe, and there is a small increase in electronegativity. Lead has 1.9 as the electronegativity. Okay, so you have to keep in your mind these values also. Now next property is, okay, and the reason behind the electronegativity is their nature. Okay, So the nature is like carbon is a non-metal, so it will not able to it can easily attract lone pair of the share pair of electrons na. Okay, for example, if we have two atoms, okay, so if the electronegativity of A is higher than that of B, then the two electrons which are present will not be in the center. Okay, it will be towards they will be towards this A atom. Okay, because its electronegativity is high as compared to B. Okay, this thing you have to keep in your mind. Ki electronegativity is a conception of shared pair of electron, not lone pair. Okay, that is shared pair of electron की tendency. Okay, and electron gain enthalpy is the tendency to attract lone pair of electron. ठीक है, we are accepting electron from some other atoms. Okay, that is a concept of electron gain enthalpy. Electronegativity is a concept of shared pair of electrons, not of lone pair of electron, or we are taking electrons from some other atom. Okay, in case of electron gain enthalpy. So this is our I think third property. Next property is, that is also very important, melting and boiling point. Okay, so melting and boiling point. Similarly we have density. Okay, so density का भी order same ही होता है. Boiling point. Now their melting and boiling point is higher than that of group number 13 elements. What will be the reason? Okay, melting point of group number 14 element is greater than that of group number 13 elements. Now what is the reason behind this? The reason is formation of 4 bonds as compared to group number 13 elements. Okay, in group number 13 elements 3 bonds are formed. Okay, as they have 3 valence electrons, but in case of group number 14 element they have a tendency to form 4 bonds with some other atom. Is it clear? So this is the main reason that they have a tendency to form 4 bonds. That is why their melting and boiling point is high as compared to the group number 13 elements. And the trend is carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. Okay, so the trend is, as we move from top to bottom, the size of the atom increases. Okay, the size of the atom increases. That is why their intermolecular attraction decreases. Okay, the intermolecular attraction decreases. Intermolecular attraction decreases. Okay, that is why their melting and boiling point decrease. Okay, that is why their melting and boiling point decrease. Now there is also an exception in case of melting point. The melting point of lead is greater than that of tin. Okay, so there is an exception in lead and tin only in this group. Okay, but in case of group number 13 there is a exception in each step. At each step there is an exception. Okay, तो वहाँ पे जैसे हमने ग्राफिकली भी ड्रॉ किया था, W will form. Okay, there is W का फॉर्मेशन हुआ था वहाँ पे जब हमने ग्राफिकली, because there is very large irregularity between the properties. Okay, but यहाँ पे ये है कि irregularity is not so much. Okay, as compared to group number 13 elements. Okay, so the this thing you have to keep in your mind, that the melting point of lead is greater than that of tin. Okay, so only this is the exception. Okay, in melting point, not in boiling point, in melting point. Okay, so write it in a notebook, this thing also. Okay, so similar is the trend of density. Okay, so density will also decrease. Okay, so this is the whole physical properties of group number 14 elements. Okay, so now let us move on to their chemical properties. Okay, some chemical properties. So first is oxidation state. Oxidation state. So if we talk about their oxidation state, so their oxidation state is maybe +4 or -4, but they don't have a tendency to show this higher oxidation state, okay, because it is not energetically favorable to accept or gain 4 electrons, okay, to accept or gain 4 electrons, but they have a tendency to show plus 4 as well as plus 6, okay, the higher, but carbon have a tendency to show only plus 4 and minus 2, minus 4, okay. So because of the, because of lack of d orbitals, okay, it has a tendency to show only uh, plus 4 or minus 4, okay. Now one more thing is, so as we move from top to bottom, okay, as we move from top to bottom, from silicon to uh, lead, ionic character increases, ionic character increases, and this is in accordance with the Fazan rule, okay, that is Fazan's rule. This is in accordance with Fazan rule, okay, because as the size of the cation increases, the covalent character decreases, okay, polarization वगैरह decrease हो जाती है, that is the main reason. And one more thing is there, they also have a tendency to show plus 2 oxidation state, okay. Plus 2 oxidation state is why they have a tendency to show plus 2 oxidation state, because of inert pair effect, okay. तो हर जगह कोई ना कोई चीज आएगी यहाँ पे, that is inert pair effect, okay. The s orbital will not take part in bonding, that is why they have a tendency to show plus 2 oxidation state, and this tendency to show plus 2 oxidation state increases on going from top to bottom, okay. Stability of plus 2 oxidation state increases, plus 2 oxidation state increases as we move from top to bottom, okay. So it means this lead its its stable oxygen state is plus 2 not plus 4, okay. Its stable oxygen state is plus 2 not plus 4, and similarly this lead and germanium can easily show both plus 2 as well as plus 4, okay, but their main stable oxygen state is plus 4 not plus 2, okay. That is in case of lead only, okay. So for example, if we have any compound, okay, of, actually the main stable oxygen state plus 4 is for germanium, okay. Germanium will show plus 4 oxygen state as the most stable, but its abundance is very low, okay, low abundance, its abundance is very low. That is why we use uh, lead tin as a plus 4, okay, because the abundance of germanium is very low as compared to tin. We use tin as plus 4 oxygen state, okay. So now one more thing is there, uh, if we talk about their reactions, okay. For example, if tin is in plus 2 oxygen state, okay, it has a tendency to convert into plus 4 oxygen state, okay, because the stable oxygen state of tin is plus 4 not plus 2, okay. For example, if we for example, if we have a reaction FeCl2 plus SnCl2, okay, if we are doing a reaction, then this SnCl2 will act as a very good reducing agent, and it gets oxidized to SnCl4, okay, it get oxidized to SnCl4, okay. So here we have FeCl3, and this FeCl3 gets converted into FeCl2, okay. So this is the main reaction, and in order to balance this reaction we have 2 over here, okay. So this is the main reaction. So now here oxidation takes place, and this SnCl2 will act as a very good reducing agent, okay, because it is reducing FeCl3 to FeCl2, okay. This is reduction, reducing agent. Similarly, if Pb is present in plus 4 oxygen state, for example, if it is present in plus 4 oxygen state, then it has a tendency to convert into plus 2 oxygen state, because its plus 2 is more stable. For example, if we have a reaction like lead oxide react with HCl, so it has a tendency to show reduction, okay. So it will undergo reduction, and it will act as a very good oxidizing agent and will act as a very good oxidizing agent. Okay, so PbCl2 and plus water or any other species will, okay, release. Okay, I think chlorine gas will also release. Okay, so this is the main reaction. Similarly, manganese also give this reaction MnO2. So here reduction is taking place. Pb is in +4, in this compound it is in +2, so reduction is taking place because its +2 oxygen state is more stable. Similarly, here tin, the stable oxygen state of tin is +4. Okay, that is why it has a tendency to convert it into +4 as compared to +2. Okay, so these type of reactions you have to keep in your mind in order to show their oxidizing agent nature as well as reducing agent nature. Okay, so these two reactions are easy to remember. Okay, so this is all about the oxidation number and their tendency to show uh, +2 oxygen state. Okay, so now one more thing is very important, that if we talk about their hybridization. Okay, if we talk about their hybridization, so the simplest compound which is formed by a carbon is methane. Okay, so in methane so methane is sp3 hybridized. Okay, methane is sp3 hybridized. Okay, and it has a structure of tetrahedral. Okay, so tetrahedral geometry as well as structure. But if we talk about uh, other atoms, okay, other elements, so they also exist as polymeric form. Okay, they also exist as polymeric. For example, if we talk about silicon exists as silicates. Okay, SiO3, it exists as SiO3. Okay, and there is a large chain of these silicates. Okay, so silicates, in silicate there is silicon oxygen silicon bond, not silicon silicon direct bond is there. Okay, because the bond strength of silicon silicon is less as compared to the silicon oxygen bond. Okay, this thing you have to keep in your mind, that silicon silicon bond and bond strength is less as compared to silicon oxygen. So in silicate this type of bonding is present. Okay, we'll discuss about silicates later. Okay, there are many types of silicates. Now what about their tendency to form p pi bonding? So only carbon has a tendency to show this p pi bonding. Okay, because of its small size. All other atoms or other elements have a very little tendency to show this p pi bonding. Okay, so carbon can easily form p pi bond with itself or with some other other species also, like say triple bond, and there is a single bond, there is a sigma bond and two uh, p pi bonds in carbon and nitrogen. Similarly here one p pi bonding is there. Okay, now if we talk about nitrogen uh, trimethyl uh, amine. Okay, this is trimethylamine. So in this compound is sp3 hybridized. Okay, this compound is sp3 hybridized, similar to NH3. Okay, similar to NH3. So this is also sp3 hybridized, but the and the uh, shape is pyramidal. Okay, geometry is tetrahedral, but the shape is pyramidal due to the presence of one lone pair of electron. Okay, there is a lone pair of electron over here, that is why the shape is pyramidal. But if we talk about trisilylamine, okay, this is a molecule that is known as trisilylamine. Okay, trisilylamine. Now in this molecule the hybridization is sp2. This is a very important exception. Okay, what is the reason behind this? The main reason is that these lone pair of nitrogen can be easily donated to silicon in its vacant d orbital. Okay, vacant d orbital. ठीक है, there is no vacant d orbital present in carbon. Okay, no vacant d orbital, but here in case of nitrogen, okay, it is similar to that in that of back bonding, okay, but there is no change in the hybridization in case of back bonding, but there is a change in the hybridization because if we talk about nitrogen, okay, so nitrogen is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3, okay, like this 2p3. But if in case of triethylamine, this electron shifted over here and these lone pair has to be donated to silicon, okay, because the lone pair which are present in s orbital is not able to donate because s orbital is not uh, is near to that of nucleus and its penetration effect is high. So this electron gets shifted over here and this pair is donated to this silicon and here sp2 hybridization takes place. Okay, 1s and 2p gets hybridized to form 3 orbitals. Okay, so this lone pair gets donated into the d orbital of silicon like this. Okay, so this is the d orbital. Okay, this is the d orbital and this is the p orbital. This overlap takes place. Okay, तो यहाँ से क्या होगा, इलेक्ट्रॉन का डोनेशन हो जाएगा. ओके, so there is a overlapping between these two. Okay, p orbital of nitrogen and d orbital of silicon, that is 3d orbital. Okay, so this thing you have to keep in your mind. Okay, so this is all about their tendency to show p pi bonding. Now if we talk about the tendency, now one more thing is there. Okay, one more thing is there. This is more basic than this. What is the reason? We all know what are bases. Those have a tendency to lose lone pair of electron, but its lone pair is already used up. Okay, it has already this nitrogen already donates its lone pair to silicon. Now this lone pair is not available for further donation, but here the lone pair is available, okay, to donate to any other species like any other Lewis acid. Okay, so that is why its basic character is higher than that of triethylamine. Okay, trimethylamine is more basic than that of triethylamine, and this is a very important question. Okay, now what is the tendency to form d pi p pi bonding? Okay, so d pi p pi bonding, as there is no d orbital present in carbon, so it will not able to show d pi p pi bonding. Okay, here this is d pi bonding, na, d pi p pi bonding. Okay, d pi p pi bonding. Okay, so all other have a tendency to show this d pi p pi bonding. Okay, so this is all about their chemical properties as well as physical property. We will discuss some more important chemical properties related to this group 14 elements. Okay, so these if we talk about silicon and germanium, they are very good semiconductors. Okay, they are very good semiconductor and also used in making of transistors. Okay, they have a very good application in the formation of transistor. Okay, so this thing you have to keep in your mind. These are the some uses of silicon and germanium. Okay, so I hope you found this lecture very helpful, and thank you so much for watching the lecture.